You know that feeling when you've poured your heart and soul into something, only to have it blow up in your face because of someone else's crazy? Well, let me tell you about the time I pulled into my driveway after a brutal 12-hour shift at the shop, grease still under my nails, just dying to kick back with my pride and joy. A cherry red 1969 Mustang Fastback I'd rebuilt from a junkyard relic into a roaring beast. The garage door rolls up, and bam, my nosy HOA queen neighbor, Karen Fitzpatrick, comes storming over like she's auditioning for a bad cop show. Phone glued to her ear, yelling, "Yes, officer, there's a black guy stealing my car right now. Hurry!" Man, my blood ran cold. I mean, I'm Jamal Thompson, third generation mechanic, standing there with my keys in hand, staring at my own ride in my own garage, and this woman's already dialed 911 like I'm some master thief. Turns out, she'd overheard me revving the engine the day before and convinced herself I'd swiped her dream car that she claimed to have just bought online. Total delusion, fueled by her ego and whatever grudge she harbored against new folks like me messing up her perfect little suburb. See, after my divorce last year, yeah, my ex decided calloused hands weren't her vibe anymore. I scraped together enough to buy this cozy house in Oak Ridge Meadows, a tidy HOA spot where lawns are manicured like golf courses and folks supposedly live and let live. But Karen, she was the self-appointed ruler, a real estate shark who'd clawed her way to HOA president 3 years running. Nobody else dumb enough to challenge her paperwork empire. She'd nitpick everything. Trash bins out too long, fences a quarter-inch off code, even measured my grass once with a ruler, smirking, "Just upholding standards, Jamal." Standards, my ass. It was control, pure and simple, especially since I didn't fit her cookie-cutter vision of the neighborhood. The sirens wail closer. 2 cop cars screech in with lights flashing like it's a felony bust. And out spill 4 officers, hands on holsters, eyeing me like I'm public enemy number 1. Officer Hayes, this grizzled vet with a no-nonsense stare but fair eyes, steps up. "Sir, report of a stolen vehicle here." And I'm thinking, stolen? This beauty's mine. Bought for $4,500 at an old widow's auction 18 months back. Every rusty panel sanded. New 429 big block installed. Tranny overhauled. That red paint so glossy it could reflect stars. Karen's hovering like a vulture, thrusting her phone at them. "Look, that's my Mustang. I wired $50K yesterday." Her voice shrill, face flushed, but her proof is just generic web pics, no VIN, no papers, while I pull out my phone, swiping through my restoration album. Before shots of the wreck, me welding frames at dawn, coffee going cold on the bench. Hayes nods, impressed. "Damn, that's craftsmanship." And I hand over the binder, thick as a Bible, with receipts DMV reg in my name, even the widow's shaky handwritten bill of sale. Karen sputtering, "He's faking it all, some scam." But the cops aren't buying. Hayes warns her sternly, "False reports are a crime, ma'am." And as they drive off, she shoots me this glare, cold as ice, like I've just declared war on her kingdom. That was just the spark. Things escalated quick. Her way of grinding me down because deep down she saw me as a threat to her property flipping schemes, targeting outsiders to force sales low and pocket commissions. Next morning, violation notices flood my mailbox. My work van's commercial eyesore, $250 fine, phantom oil stains I power wash weekly, offensive garage odors like WD-40 was poison gas. She'd patrol my fence at dawn, iPhone out, measuring, snapping pics. Creepy as hell. So I wired up HD cams, catching her in the act, her power walks turning into stakeouts. Then the big guns. Anonymous city code complaints about illegal repairs. But the Inspector Dave tours my spotless garage, cleaner than my mechanics, and chuckles off the record. "Same caller every time. Lady needs a real hobby." Insurance fraud next. She tips off my provider about fire hazards. But my agent Bill geeks out over the Mustang, sends her a cease and desist. Back off or face fraud charges. Social media? She starts a neighborhood watch group posting veiled digs about industrial types lowering values. Code for me, stirring up whispers. But folks start pushing back, sharing their own Karen horror tales. Inside, it ate at me. Why me? I'd kept my head down, fixed neighbors' rides for free sometimes. But her control freak vibe mixed with subtle racism, like calling my tools urban noise. It built this fire in my gut, turning exhaustion into resolve. One night, nails scatter my driveway. Cams catch her shadowy figure at 2 a.m., that stiff walk giving her away. Then an anonymous letter. "Your type doesn't fit. Leave or else. Motive clicked when I dug courthouse records during lunch. Karen's embezzling HOA funds. $95K siphoned to fake companies at her address, funding her messy divorce while harassing families into cheap sales for kickbacks. Her own house? In foreclosure, taxes piled up. She needed my place flipped fast to bail out. That rage? Not just petty. She was drowning, clawing at anyone to stay afloat. That's when the tide turned. I confided in neighbor Mike over coffee, this quiet retiree who'd gotten fined for wrong mailbox font. And boom, we built a squad. Emily, the accountant, spotting fraud like a hawk. Alex, the lawyer, shredding legalese. Sophia, the teacher, organizing timelines. Diego, the contractor, rigging cams everywhere. We met in Mike's garage, papers spread like a war room. Emily muttering, "This embezzlement's sloppy as hell." Alex grinning, "Felony goldmine." Plan hatched. Audit her books, run for board seats, file complaints, leak to media. We let her think she was winning, documenting her spirals, her frantic emergency meeting with just her cronies, caught on tape. They're on to us. Control the story. Then her dumb vandalism, slashing tires under floodlights, Home Depot stickers still on her evidence oil cans, bribery flop with Diego. $2K to forget this. Phone recording her desperation. "That man's ruining everything." False reports piled up, cops rolling eyes. "Fourth one, ma'am, charges incoming." Her break-in sealed it. Footage of her shredding HOA files at 3 a.m. Alarms blaring. Officer Hayes cuffing her mid-panic. "You don't get it. They're destroying my life." Jail time hit. Her minion Clara records a visit. "Help me flee. $50K cash hidden. Start over." Audit drops. $115K total theft. Every household robbed $2,900. Neighborhood meeting erupts. 43 families furious, voting her out unanimously amid gasps and curses. Media swarms, Channel 5 leading with HOA tyrant busted, my interview calm, not revenge, accountability. Sentencing day's electric courtroom packed. I stand. She didn't just steal cash, she stole our peace. Eyes on her orange jumpsuit, her defiant glare cracking. Judge booms, systematic abuse, racial targeting, 4 years prison, full restitution. Gavel down, applause thunders. Outside, steps buzzing, reporter asks, "Advice for others?" Document, unite, truth prevails. 6 months on, Oak Ridge is reborn, transparent HOA, community gardens blooming, values up 18%, scholarships from restitution teaching kids mechanics, like Sophia's niece acing tech school. I'm dating Emily now, Mustangs magazine famous, our story sparking reform statewide. But here's the kicker. Was Karen a monster, or just a broken soul society failed? HOA power trips like hers wreck lives, yet without rules, chaos reigns, right? Drop your thoughts below. Ever battled a neighborhood bully? Was justice served, or too harsh? Share your stories. Hit like if karma's your jam. Subscribe for more real-life takedowns. Let's keep the conversation going.